What is Cubism? A historical humanist production. Art has long been a means for human reflection, expression, and the creation of self-image. For much of history, this effort has lent itself towards creating ever more realistic imitations of the world. However, in the early 20th century, art veered away into abstract trends. Among the most prominent, long-lasting, and impactful of these new artistic styles is Cubism. So what was Cubism? Cubism was established in the early 20th century, shortly before the outbreak of World War I. The style was founded by the works of Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque in the city of Paris. The term Cubism is derived from the comments made by art critic Louis Vassel on Braque's 1908 Houses at l'Estaque, whose subject he described as being composed of cubes. The Cubist style bucked the entire millennia-long history of artistic tradition up until that point. Cubism chose to forego the principle that art should imitate nature, and instead emphasize the two-dimensional nature of the canvas on which the art was painted. This meant abandoning the traditional artistic techniques of perspective, foreshortening, modeling, and chiaroscuro. Instead of copying the form, color, texture, and space of the objects, Cubists presented their own new reality. Cubists depicted objects from several perspectives simultaneously. This created a unique, fragmented appearance of objects shown from multiple angles. The premier work that established the foundation of the Cubist style was Picasso's 1907 Le Démence d'Avignon. The work depicts 5 naked women in a fractured angular shapes. Perspective is rendered in the work through the use of color, with warm reddish-brown colors advancing and cooler blues receding from the viewer. Analytical Cubism is a subset of the Cubist styles. Developed between 1910 and 1912, the style was practiced by both Picasso and Braque, whose works in the style are nearly indistinguishable from one another. In this style, emphasis is placed on breaking down the subject depicted in the artwork. In this style, straight lines and right angles are used, and coloration is reduced to single monochrome scale in order to remove any possible distraction from the form of the object depicted by the work. Multiple views of the object, which are always presented side by side, are reduced to a series of transparent and opaque layers that appear to rise out of the canvas. Forms are generally compact and dense at the center of the canvas, growing larger as they diffuse towards the edges. Synthetic Cubism is a Cubist style that began after 1912. The style focuses on the combination of forms in the portrait, with color returning to define and contrast with the objects depicted. Shapes become larger and more decorative. Contrast between smooth and rough surfaces is emphasized with additional materials, such as newspapers and tobacco wrappers, pasted onto the canvas as a collage. Cubism would continue to grow and expand throughout the 20th and into the 21st centuries. Although it is primarily associated with painting, Cubism also expanded and prospered in the realms of sculpture and architecture. And if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content, and please be sure to check out all of our social medias listed down below. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.